who would not step out. I was afraid of thee. I did not trade. And because I did not trade, I am now unproductive. And now that I'm unproductive, I am now unwise and unfaithful. And here's one thing that a lot of believers have not come to accept. God detests unproductivity. God detests unfruitfulness. In John, a corresponding thought there. He said, the branch that will not bring forth fruit, he said, let us cut it off. Not only do we cut it off, let us trample on it and let us throw it into fire. Much God detects unproductivity. In fact, in that John 15 there, God relating to, you must understand that relationships around you, fruits, productivity, profitability, and increase in space, the Bible says you should cut off that relationship. God himself cuts off the relationship of, he says here, thou art not productive. He said, thou art not cast out into outer darkness. Because of a lot of sentiments, many are not able to relate to these things. Paul dropped a man called John Mark from his company entourage or his ministry entourage. And he said, it's because thou art unfruitful to me in ministry. Are you seeing that there? So God cut that guy out completely. He said because he was unproductive. Now we just introduce this thought, so we pick it up next week. In that Matthew 25, where I read almost 30 verses, we see another form of judgment. This judgment is linked inside the same parable of talents of 521. He said the king will come, and the king will be like a shepherd who is going to be making judgment on the sheep and the goats. So he's going to separate the sheep from the goats. And what qualified a man to be sheep and what qualified a man to be goat? Then he said, what made this man sheep was because he saw people hungry, he fed them. He saw people naked, he clothed them. He saw people homeless, he took them in. He saw people cold, he gave them warmth. That's the only thing that made this man qualified. That is, in his dealing with people, he helped people. Job said something interesting in that Job 29 that we read. Job said, I was all that. I was glorying. I was that man that the princes were afraid of. I was the one that the young men were clapping for. I was all this because of one thing. He said, because I made the widow sing again. Go and read it. So next week when we come back, I'm going to show you the place of how your charitable efforts, of how your real love work opens your spirit up for revelation. That's what I'm teaching. How your love work as a believer, how you helping the people around you, how you living well with the people around you. This time is not integrity, it's love. How it opens your spirit up for light. And when that light comes in, the Bible says in Job 29 and 3, it said, in that day when the candle of the Lord was upon my head, and with his light or by his light, I walked out of darkness. God bless you. Ponder on these thoughts this week, and we'll meet again for in-depth doctrinal explanation of how your love walk opens your spirit for revelation.